Today I'm going to be showing you how to build a couple different simple sorting system designs. I'm going to go over everything that you need to know in this video. Let's go. The very first design that I want to go over is one that's going to work on Bedrock Edition and Java Edition. This one here is the ImpulseSV sorting system design. This design is completely tileable and also overflow protected. I'll get more into the overflow protection at the end of this video. On pretty much all of these, you're not going to need a tutorial in order to build it. You can probably just look at it, but we essentially have a torch here and then a redstone repeater there, 3 bits of redstone dust, a comparator, and a hopper. We then also have the hopper line that's going to go across here. The way that this is going to work is as soon as this redstone line gets up to a power of 3, it's going to power this repeater there, unpowering that torch, unlocking this hopper, and pulling an item down and into the chest. However, the only way for that to happen is on this hopper here. We have the sorted item that you want to sort out, and then we have 4 items that are never going to make their way into the sorting system. For extra security, I put named items in here, and I highly recommend that you do the same. The reason why I recommend this is if you put regular sticks in here, they're not going to be pulled in here because they are not named, and they're going to make their way all the way through and into the bypass chest. The only way that this redstone signal strength is going to increase is if the items are higher than 45 in here for a item count that stacks to 64. So since both the diamonds and the sticks count to 64, the amount of items that we're going to need to be inside of this hopper in order to change the redstone strength from 2 to 3 is going to be 46. So as you can see, we have 41 and then 4, which is 45. And then as soon as it goes over 45, you're going to see it pulls that one down. And again, if we go over that and look at the redstone, you can see that that redstone flashed very quickly. The reason why this holds on to items here is because after it gets to 45, it's going to power this torch again, locking this hopper, and no more items are going to be pulled down. Hopefully you're still following me, because that's how all of these sorting systems are going to work in front of us. Which means if we put something that is not sorted out inside of here, because there is no spot for this to be pulled down into, you're going to see that this iron is just going to go right across and into this bypass chest. And as I mentioned, this is totally tileable, so as you can see, I have some emeralds here, I have some iron in the center and diamonds here. So if I place all of these items in here, let's do a small increment so we're not waiting forever. And then we also do some netherite scrap. We can throw some of that in there and then unlock this. And as you can see, this is going to start pulling out all of the items. So we have the diamonds coming in there, and shortly after we're going to have the iron coming in here. And as you can see, the emerald already came in here, and this chest is empty, and the thing that was not sorted out was the netherite scrap because there was no place for it to go, so it went into the bypass chest. Now this system can be made a little bit cheaper. This works the exact same way. However, instead of having the need for repeaters, we have target blocks here, which is only good if you have a good source of wheat in order to make these things. They can get pretty expensive. This design is, I believe, by SilentWisperer, and it works the exact same way. And you probably don't need a tutorial in order to make this. Just make sure that it's built and configured just like this, with of course the glass here, comparator facing that way. The hopper on this level can be facing any direction other than down. I recommend facing this hopper always into the back of the comparator. That way you don't ever have to worry about any of the hoppers cross transferring. Now the next one that we're going to have here is a non-stackable item sorter, and it might look very familiar because it is the exact same sorting system. The only difference is we moved it up 1 block, so now it is reading off of the input hopper line with the items that are going to go across the sorting system. So because items that stack to 64 and 16 are going to put out a signal strength of 1, the only item that's going to be able to go across this and put out a signal strength of 3 is of course going to be a non-stackable. So as soon as that goes through this hopper, it's going to put out a signal strength of 3, unlocking it and pulling it down. Now because non-stackables are exactly that, they cannot stack, which means we cannot pre-stack them in order to make a filter, which means using this method you're not able to pull out only swords or only tridents. You're going to pull out every single non-stackable. So if any armor goes across here, it's going to be pulled out. If any swords go across here, it's going to be pulled out. If you want a non-stackable sorting system that's going to pull out a specific item, you're going to need to use an allay, which can be a little on the buggy side. Let's touch base on the whole overflow protection design. As you can see, we have a regular overflow protected ImpulseSV sorting system set up here, and we have 41 diamonds inside of it. So if we add a full stack here, you can see that it's only going to ever put out a signal strength of 3, turning on this light, which this light here is a good sign. This means that it's going to be sorting. You never want the 4 signal strength to light up because that's going to break stuff. What a lot of people will do to try to save on materials is releasing all of these sticks here, and they're going to try to put 4 stacks of 11 inside of here, meaning that it's going to equal 44. And then if we add one more, it's going to get to that magic 45 number, and then if we add another one, it's going to start sorting those out. That is great until you add in a full stack, because now we have a full stack of items in here, plus 11, plus 11, plus 11, plus 11, which means this is going to put out way more than a signal strength of 3, which, since we're powering a signal strength of 4 here, it's going to power this light, then essentially break everything. So what happens is once you get a signal strength of 4 here, it's not only going to power 1, 2, 3, but it's also going to power this one here, which is going to unlock this torch and drain all of the items out of this chest. And that will basically set off a chain reaction, breaking the entire sorting system if you're not careful. The reason this happens is because if you take an entire stack of diamonds and throw it down on a hopper can pull in that entire stack of diamonds immediately, and it's going to basically bump up that signal strength over 4. And the reason why this happens is because whenever the system's set up overflow protected, the highest number is going to be 68 that's ever able to be inside of this hopper, which is 64 diamonds plus 4 of the regular stackable items. However, if you have 4 stacks of 11 plus the 64, then you're going to have a total of 108, which is going to bump up that signal strength. Hopefully I explained that correctly and it was not overly confusing. Anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down inside of the comments below and I will answer them accordingly. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.